all you magical people out there. Welcome to Unscripted with Amy Kruzic. Okay, so here's where I ask one question to my guest and we chat about it. And who knows where it goes? We never really know. But let me bring on my next guest, Dawn Eglitis. Come on in, Dawn. Hi, Dawn.
Hello. Hi.
How are you? Thank you so much for being a guest.
No problem. I'm enjoying this.
Yes, good, good. Okay, so I know Dawn from the UCM community.
That's right.
Yeah, you've done interviews with David and maybe Nikki, I don't know. But it's so cool to have you on my show now. So,
Thank you. Yes.
thank you. Okay, so you know how it works. We ask a question. We don't know what it's going to be, but then we just chat
Absolutely.
about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's
Okay.
go.
All right, let's go. I'm just going to choose one out of here and see. Okay. This is I don't even know whether to ask this, but this is kind of like, okay. Okay. This will be an interesting topic, but if someone gave you an envelope with your death date inside of it, would you open it?
No,
No.
I wouldn't open it because why have that date in mind?
Mhm.
Because you're supposed to be living in the present and you've got a date prescribed in the future. It would bring a lot of anxiety, I think. And
Mhm.
who wants to have that anxiety on a daily basis? Just be in the moment, not know.
I love that because I was thinking the same thing. That's why I'm like, oh, death date. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like, okay, let's say we did know. Would
Yeah.
we do different? Would we do
No,
different? Any different than we're doing now?
I think it would just add another worry about how that death date was going to occur and everything else. It could be
Yeah,
tomorrow. We don't know.
we don't.
So why do anything different? One
Yeah.
thing I did do a long time ago is wrote my own eulogy.
Oh, I've always thought of that.
And it's a really good way of knowing how you've impacted people and what we can still do within our life to actually say, there's our legacy. This is what we've done. And is there anything that you would want to be in that eulogy that's not in there?
Wow. Now, have you changed it along the way?
I have.
Yeah.
It's very dynamic because
Yeah.
I've done more things to help people and things like that. So I have had impacts. And our life takes different directions. And again, being very fluid with our life,
Yeah.
that will impact what's happening at the end too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I think I may do that.
It's a really interesting thing just to say, what do you think about yourself and what you would want other people to know about yourself? And it's kind of your story, but also the impact you've had on people. It's kind of like a pre-life review before you go over on the other side, because I
Oh,
am a psychic medium. I've
right.
seen the life reviews that people do once they've passed over. And so to have that done beforehand and to get a very clear life story now is really important to review your life. Is there things that you want to do that you didn't do yet? Is there some forgiveness that you haven't done that you should do? Because it's a lot harder once you're on the other side to get that forgiveness for people. Because if you can do it now, it changes dynamics on a ripple effect.
I really just had chills when you were saying that. Seriously.
Yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of people on the other side, and I got chills too. Um,
Yeah.
where they've done some things in their life that they didn't take care of before they died. And so, they may have known their death date. We all know
Mhm.
our date. There is a
Yeah.
prescribed date. There's exit points along the way that you can take. But
Right.
our prescribed date that we leave is the date we, have already put in our contract. And
Yes.
I've seen people that have gone and they saying, I should have said this or I should have done that. And I'm saying, well, why should you? You should do it now. Don't have the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Do them.
Yeah, do 'em. Wow, okay, so, I don't know, I'm just thinking of I'm just thinking of a lot of things that you just brought on,
Yeah. It's only
so
because of what I do that's
yeah,
seen
tell
the
us a little
impact.
bit about that.
Sure. So I
Yeah.
am a psychic medium. So I'm a medium and a psychic, and not all psychics are mediums, and all mediums are psychic because you use the combined gift.
Okay.
And so what I do as a medium, I'm actually contacting spirit and I'm talking
Mhm.
to the souls of the people. And they use telepathy in a way to communicate with me. That's the simplest way to describe it. I sometimes do hear accents if they want me to know they're from a different country, but generally it's my
Yeah.
voice and it's my thoughts that I'm hearing because they use telepathy to communicate with me. And that's how I'm able to communicate with people that don't speak English.
Wow.
And I deal with a lot of people like from Japan and down in Argentina and Portuguese from Brazil. And I had this one lady from that was Hungarian, and her mother only spoke Hungarian. She had died. I walked into the bakery, and her mother was there. She died overnight, and I was able to communicate with the daughter this information, and she just died, and she didn't know the way to talk to me because there's a protocol in talking to the
Yeah.
dead in terms of there's a shared language that we learn and understanding it. Anyway, so it's
No,
quite
I love it. Have you had this gift?
I have,
Probably,
yeah,
yeah.
all from birth,
And
basically,
you
and no one told me what it was. I just thought it was normal. And when you have something, you don't have anyone to share it with. It just
yeah.
happens. And my parents were not overly spiritual people. They didn't understand the concepts of what I was dealing with. And so, yeah, dealing with the invisible man, because I would see my spirit guide or I'd see spirit,
Mm.
not
Yeah.
just my guides, but ghosts and things like that. And I just thought it was normal. I didn't know there's any difference.
Wow.
Yeah. And then when I see my nephews and nieces, I encourage that behavior because when they were young, I would say, "What do you see?" Because my nephew saw auras. He would
Mhm.
see the colors around people. And I said, "Well, what do you see?" And I'm encouraging that in my kids too because
Yeah.
they're gifted.
Yeah, I do that too sometimes with my, nephew's kids, because their imagination is, like, out of
Absolutely.
this world, and it's I don't ever say, "No, don't think that, don't say that, don't do that,"
Yeah.
and they're being raised Catholic too, so,
Absolutely. Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
let it happen, and we just go in there together and play, you know?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah,
phenomenal. And just encouraging kids because a lot of them still have the memories of their prior life from a past life. And so
yeah,
up to 7 years old, they're still able to communicate much
yeah,
better with the spirit world. And so they're
yeah.
always talking to spirit. You'll see babies looking off in the direction and they're being
Yes.
spoken to by spirit. And I see who they're talking to, and it's quite interesting. And it freaks
Wow.
out people. Or you'll see your cat or your dog looking in a direction because they're also seeing spirit walking around too.
Yeah, I see, someone pulls my dog's tail all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know, I think it's my dad
it is.
because he was just he loves dogs
Yeah.
and, he just likes to be funny, and he was a funny guy.
Your dad actually has several dogs around him on the other side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got his old dog. There was a quite a large dog.
Yes, a German Shepherd.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
he's got him around him.
Oh,
He's
that's
like his
great to
best
hear.
friend. Yeah, I'm getting used to your dad's best friend.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Dawn. No, that's that's great. Wow, that's good to know. It's like his little oh, I love that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, he's got his
Yeah.
entourage. So
His
yeah,
entourage
his
is
entourage.
yeah. Oh, that's great. So, this death date.
Which
Hmm.
what would you do?
Well, I wouldn't wanna know know because I don't think I would do anything different. Although death's a little scary to me, a little
Okay.
bit. It's like as we get older into a new decade,
Well,
we get
I've had a near-death experience where I saw my
uh,
life flash before me when I was 17. I was climbing in the Lake District in England, and I got on some shale on a mountainside, and I saw these dead sheep, and I didn't know what these dead sheep were all about until I got on this shale and started sliding. And as I was sliding down the mountain, I saw my life flash like that from a baby right to my age, and I was about 17 years old. What was ironic was it was a blind man that saved me from going over the edge. He reached out and he could hear me coming. He
Whoa.
didn't see me coming, but he could see a shadow of me coming and he grabbed me to stop me from going over.
Wow.
So I'm not scared of death because I've already seen what the process is.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
And
And
I'm
death is
sure
not really death, death because you're
I
so
know.
lives on, your body goes.
I know, and I don't know, I gotta work on this one because I
No,
don't
no.
know. It's
And
like yeah, go ahead.
well, what is your preferred way of dying? And that's the other thing is, you can script what your way of dying would be too.
And I do say that.
And
That's
a lot of people
perfect.
say, I would just want to die in my sleep. So they have sleep issues. They can't sleep at night because they think they're going to die. So subconsciously, they've programmed themselves to say, I'm going to die at night. I'm not a psychologist, but
Right,
that's
right, right, right. So we can say that well, thank you for pointing that out to me because that does help. Wow, because I do
just,
do it. I do say it.
yeah, and just say natural causes wherever that is. And that's the best way to die, natural
Yeah,
causes.
exactly, exactly. Oh, Dawn, who knew that this would go here? So
I
I
know.
appreciate it. This is great. This is great. So how can people get a hold of you and your lovely gift that you have?
So my website is dawnforspiritualguidance.com and my email is dawnforspiritualguidance@gmail.com.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
was a great conversation.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yes, you have to come back. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so, I like to leave my audience with a question, and you're welcome to answer it too, but, this question, I just like to leave with fun questions.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it kind of, like, triggers our childhood or our teenage or whatever, but what was your first car? That's the question, and if Klaus Regley is watching, Klaus Klaus posts the most dope cars ever. So, I don't know, you have to look him up. Um,
So
but
what was the first car we bought or was the
yeah,
first car we remember
I'm gonna say, what was your first car?
that I
But
bought?
I'm gonna say that you bought because that's kind of what where I went.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I bought a huge car. It was a Ford LTD and it was like driving a big boat. It belonged to my father-in-law, and I was driving this thing all over the place. Unfortunately, one day I forgot and hit the emergency brake and left it on, and I burned out my brakes.
Oh, no. Dawn. I love those. I know exactly what you're talking about. LTDs. Yes,
The
exactly.
Ford
Mine
LTDs.
yeah, mine was, a Ford. No, it wasn't. A Nissan Pulsar, 1985. It was tiny. It was this I first time I learned stick shift,
Yeah.
two-door. Yeah, it was so cute. It had the little flip lights in the front.
Oh, I
It was
like that. Yeah.
it was kind of, like,
So
so retro.
what was your favorite car that you've owned all your lifetime so far?
Well, I'm gonna have to say that one.
Okay.
Well, no, sorry. Sorry, my Volkswagen Beetle, and it was a convertible.
Yeah.
It was red,
Yeah.
and it kinda, like, just and that was not too long ago, early 2000s, but I love that car. That was a nice one. How about you?
I had a BMW convertible and I
Oh,
loved it. It held the road. I could take all the country roads
yes.
tight and it was a fun car.
Oh, I know, those convertibles, man.
I
I
know.
love them. I
Me too.
love them. I don't know if I'll get another one, but, who knows? Maybe.
I probably won't. It's too low down on the ground. It's hard to get out of those things now.
It's true. Right, give me an SUV, that's what I got now.
That's what I've
Yeah.
got to.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this was great fun. So thank you so much,
Thank you.
and everybody stay magical.
Stay
Bye.
All right.
And let's take a few moments to settle in, drawing our attention to the breath and simply observe any sensations associated with each inward and each outward movement. Feel yourself. Breathe into this space and let it gently soften and expand on your breath. Take in the life force energy that it emanates.
Ten-minute chakra balance guided meditation for positive energy. This is your time.
If thoughts intrude, imagine they are colored balloons separate from you. Let them go. Let them float away. You are present now.